Hey, what's up guys? It's Rose, and I am going to be playing a game called The Sound of Darkness. Now, I don't know anything about the game, so we're just going to jump in. Maybe. You awake to the sound of darkness. Until this point, you didn't think darkness made noise. But the silence all around you was so stark, so piercing, so absolute, that the darkness felt loud. You can't see anything and your head hurts like heck. You think you have amnesia, but you can't remember for sure. You decide to do something. Go with B. Stand up and try exploring in the pitch black. You shakily stand up and begin meandering slowly. You bump into a stalagmite. This must be some sort of cave, you think. In a moment of sheer brilliance, the ground is covered by dry, cold stones, heaped together in mounds, some small, some over your head. The ground is very uneven, and you come close to tripping numerous times. In the distance, you hear footsteps approaching. I'm going to go with A. You reach down and grab a stone, getting ready to attack the mysterious being. Then you make a horrible discovery. The stone is actually a skull. Shocked, you drop it. The distant footsteps increase in speed, and you begin running away. You trip multiple times, but never stop moving. You continue this escape for a few minutes, and you begin tiring out. Yeah, you're out of shape. After running that whole way, there are still nothing but bones beneath your feet. You decide to, I'm gonna suck it up and use the bone as a weapon. Maybe. You reach down and select a nice sharp rib. As you can't see anything, you locate it with the hard way. It's just one of those days, you think. But now it's not the time for cliched one-liners. Now is the time to fight. The footsteps sound within 10 feet, so you decide to just attack already. You lunge forward and attack the being with all your strength. As the rib goes between his ribs, he lets out a squeal that sounds more like a pig than a man. The man collapses onto the bones beneath, adding to the number of the dead. Dang, I'm epic, you think to yourself. After you calm down and avoid having a heart attack, you decide to continue your quest. After all, killing this guy really didn't have anything to help you get out of here. I'll search the body for loot. You reach down and begin searching the body for anything useful, which is quite difficult when you can't see. And wonder of all wonders, you find a pink jelly bean. Oh, and you also found a flashlight. After devouring the jelly bean, you turn it on. As you look around, you suppress a scream that has risen up in you. For as far as your eyes can see, there is nothing but bones and stalagmites, and your eyes can see very far. You turn the flashlight down and look at your fallen foe. He, for it is he, is human, but is not very easy to tell. His skin is a sickly pale yellow, and so are his 5 teeth. His fingernails are more like claws, and his eyes are huge, pale, and bulging. His hair has all but fallen out, and he is covered in scars. But the strangest thing of all is that he's wearing a business suit. Unsure what to think, I'm gonna go with the flashlight off because they probably see dark and light. You decide that it's probably safe to leave your torch off. You keep walking towards where you are going. Before long, but a little after short, you reach a wall with a tunnel in it. You begin walking down the tunnel before short. You reach a fork in the road. After picking it up, you just walk a little more and reach a place where the road branches. A right path and a left path you decide to take. Hehehe, I'm a smartass. You decide that it's probably in your best interest to leave your... You chuckle at this particularly witty and original pun and continue walking after picking it up. After walking for a while longer, you reach a place... Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go down the left path. Take the left path. As you walk down this path, things feel different. You feel colder, but it's felt refreshing, like an iced coffee infused into the air. Your mind feels more open, like you are closer to regaining a memory. You enter the room to your sharp left and drop your flashlight in shock. In the center of this room, which is really quite large, is a big bonfire made out of blue and green and purple flames. Instead of heat, it releases iced coffee air. You feel happier just being in its presence, yet you have a strange feeling that you should avoid it. Logically, emotionally, you feel you shouldn't go over and bask in its light. But something in the back of your mind is restraining you. It's so beautiful, so friendly, so inviting. It may return your memory. It may help you survive. But no matter how much you think, you can't shake off the feeling that some nameless horror leaks in its splendor. Lurks. Turn back and go take the right path. You flip on your flashlight. You take the right path. Luckily for you, that was the right one. You catch my drift. You keep shining your light, but you are greeted by the sight of more beautiful than, more darkness. Real light. Not artificial, weak light like that from the torch, but real full sunlight. With renewed strength, you charge forward, the exits closer and closer. You halt. Suddenly, as you hear a booming voice. So it is you at long last, with some light, I see. You look around but see no one. You are in a dome-shaped room about 50 feet across. Along the walls are gemstones and ancient-looking runes, just no speaker. Where are you? Who are you? You shout. Worry yourself not. I shall introduce myself properly. I am the darkness. I own this place. Stop waving that light around. I have no form anymore. Maybe someday. Well, enough of me. That's all you need to know. What about you? Why are you running? Before pressing a button on your keyboard, you notice something interesting. You can see him. Outlined in the air, your light exposes a silhouette of humanoid 9 feet tall. It's hunched over and its overly long arms trail on the ground behind it. It is walking in circles around the room. He obviously can't tell you can see him. I'm going to answer his question with a question. Who are you, you yell. I told you, I am the darkness. I am the savior of mankind, but have been banished years ago. I need your help. That's why I brought you here, he says. You brought me here? But why? And what are those monsters? And why are their bones? Unfortunately, he begins small monologues, and explanations are much more rare than video games make them seem. I am the darkness, and I need you. And you need me. You see, I rescued you from the world outside, from hardship, strife, pain. You can escape it all here. I even wiped your memories. If you stay here, you will not have to go back to the world outside. It's a horrid place. Especially now. I mean, sure, you can escape if you want. I'm not stopping you. But if you go, your life will be misery incarnate. Once you have been to the cave, there's no going back to the outside. Light is evil, and if you leave, I'll just bring down more humans. The only reason you're here is because the last guys chose to go. I'm trying to help. All I ask is that you stay here and live long and die happy, or leave and live a horrible life spent in torture from the shadows. You will want to come back, but you won't be able to. Make your choice, humans. Stay in the dark and be happy, or go into light and be destroyed. I'm gonna attempt to kill the darkness. Well, Mr. Darkness, you say condescendingly. I believe, but not immediately. You crack your knuckles. Are you serious? He asked, wondering whether or not you were serious. You can't even see me. I am the darkness. I cannot be killed. I have destroyed nations and conquered kings. I haunted humanity for hundreds of years. I have raised up villains and vanquished heroes. I am the devourer of life and the bane of light. You are just a nameless, amnesiac twit. With a little flashlight, I dare you to even try. Dare accept it, he said in a moment of pure unbridled eloquence. You leap forward with your flashlight and your fork. As you reach him, he vanishes, leaving you on an empty floor. You hear him laughing from behind you. You turn and think you see him, or a second, but he disappears. He begins talking. Okay, foolish young one, do you think my warnings are vain? I am not the greatest power at work in this cave, but I am far greater than you. You feel him slap your face, and you fall over bleeding. Though I must say, I rather admire your courage. Trying to fight me is not for the faint of heart. Unfortunately, both our situations have been made worse by your refusal to stay voluntarily. I will have to eat you raw before the goblins can get you, as he says. As something odd happens, you feel something form in your hand. You look down, and a small stream of sunlight coming in. You can see what it is. A knife. A big, sharp, expensive-looking knife. Where did it come from? I'm going to use the knife. You grip the knife in your hand as the darkness walks over. You get ready to finish this. Well, young one, the dark monologues. I'm afraid that the time has come for me to have my meal. It's such a shame, too. I hate unripe food. He takes a step closer. Almost time, almost time. He takes one more step forward. Time to end this, you think. You grab the knife in both hands, leap up as best as you can, and plunge the knife into the silhouette of the darkness. For a few seconds, there is silence. Then the darkness looks down at its chest and looks back up. How? What have you done? The darkness falls over. It's done. You hear laughter echoing through the cave. You hear the darkness panting heavily, not dead. Then, just dying. But he isn't the one laughing. On the contrary, he seems more terrified than you. He's here, the darkness squeaks. He has come for me. The room begins shaking. You hear a voice unlike any you have ever heard. If it were compared to honey, then the very best human voices are comparable to fermented lemon juice. It flows through the air like water, but there is nothing pleasant in it. It is the voice of pure evil. I applaud at you, O great and mighty chosen one. You have used my knife well. I loved how you clumsily stabbed it into my prey. It was obviously something only someone very unique and talented could do. I feel like I should introduce myself. I am Agaroth, the one the darkness began screaming in agony. Oh wait, the one for whom this wretched cave was built. And now you have freed me. The darkness began screaming in agony, and the cave began shaking harder. I have waited this day for hundreds of years ever since you arrived. Agaroth was speaking to the darkness. You're so full, so much power in you, so much to devour. Screams of pain and horror fill the dusty air. The ground shakes harder, and rocks begin falling from the ceiling. Dark red light floods the chamber. Who are you? You shout in terror. I am Agaroth, and I am free. The walls begin rippling like the surface of a pond. The cave exit grows in size. The strange red light pours out of the cave into the lush field outside, charring everything it touches. Shadows move through the light into the outside world. Goblins. Bones fly in a mad whirlwind around the room, occasionally hitting you. It is obvious that Agaroth has forgotten your existence. Small one, come here, the darkness beckons. Having nowhere else to go, you approach. Young one, I despise you. I hate you, and the rest of your kind. But I need to live. This monster will spread across every world, including my own, if I am consumed. He will have the power to wipe out anything weaker than he. That's why this cave was built, as a prison. I want to save my world and my own hide. You probably want to save the other Homo sapiens. I am powerless to fight him in my present state. If I had the strength, I could survive. That's why I've been stealing humans for centuries. Their souls feed me and keep me well enough to resist my own consumption. That's the food chain here, bub. However, I am too weak to even consume you. You need to do something for me, for the world, for every world. My soul may survive yet and resist Agaroth if it merges with yours. If you let me enter your mind, you will be the savior of every world, though I don't imagine this experience will be pleasant for you. Fuck you! All has become dark. Is that the end? Hello? At the end? Oh, so that was the end. I guess I chose wrong. I might do this again just to see what the other choices are. I don't really know. It's a lot of reading. If you want to see more from me, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any idea for games that you think I would want to play, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll see you on the next one.